Alrighty, y'all. We're gonna Joe's Retro World. Today is part 3 of Let's Build a Portable Nintendo. So since the last time, I went ahead and took apart the Hyperkin HD and I desoldered and removed the composite outputs right here. They had the composite and then they had left and right audio going out. This was not necessary. The composite on this thing was so ugly that I just chose to just completely remove it instead of allowing for that signal to get out, because that was just really, really ugly. The colors were bad. Everything was bad about it. So there's no point to having that composite, you know, RCA jack going out. Plus, it took up a lot of space. It was just big and bulky and ugly. So I just removed it. And so as you can see, the little board is nice and clean. I went ahead and soldered in some new wires, and then I heat shrinked it all so that everything was nice and neat and clean. And this is extended so that the board where I actually connect the Nintendo cartridge can be moved around, because it was connected to where it was only allowed a couple of degrees of movement. So this way, now I'm allowed to basically put this anywhere that I need to. So now I'm able to position it and build it a frame around it to where I can literally load this in and out on the back of a big, huge looking Game Boy, which is be actually a Nintendo Boy at the end. And then I had to come over here, and this is the power and the controller port motherboard, PCB board, where you turn it on, you reset. It has a LED indicator letting you know that it's on. Now, this used to illuminate the Hyperkin logo. I'm going to desolder it and move it, and I'm going to be ordering or making my own Joe's Retro War logo, which is just going to be a clear plastic with my name in cursive. That's going to be my new logo, because cursive is a dying language, y'all. And I want everybody to know at least what Joe's Retro World looks like in cursive. So it wasn't very hard. I just went ahead and desoldered the regular ugly leads, and what it had was this wires right here, these gray wires, and they were all stuck together like bread ties. And this is what was bridging this. So I just desoldered them and put my own wires. And if you're wondering what kind of wires I was using, it's these cheap wires from Amazon. They're 24 gauge, so they're nice and thin. They are, coated in plastic, and they're easy to work with. They're cheap. They do the job. I'm not building a arc reactor, so for the project, these wires work great. Um, I'm able to now move the power board wherever I need it to and position it to where I need to. So if I need to, I can move it back here out of the way, just like this. And then right here, I can have the on and off button on the very bottom. But I'm going to be desoldering these controller ports. I'm going to be desoldering, sorry. I'm going to be desoldering these controller ports right here. And let me turn this off. As you can see, it all works. Turn it on. Boom. And then you can reset as normal. So it's a completely working Hyperkin. I'm using a 8-bit DOE wireless controller mod to test it out. It's really easy. I love it. It allows me to use a wireless controller right there. But I'm not going to be using a wireless controller, y'all. I'm going to be using a wired controller. So these controller ports right here are going to be removed. I'm going to be desoldering them, and I'm going to be hardwiring an actual Nintendo controller to it. And then that controller is going to be in the front of my, my handheld. But I went ahead and ordered a dual. So right here, I have just a cheap little charger that came with a Hyperkin. It's 5 volts at 0.4 amps. And I was wondering, is that enough to power both the screen and the Hyperkin at the same time? And yes, yes it is. As you can see, I have the micro USB connected here, and then I got the other lead connected to the screen. And so everything is powered, everything is working like it's supposed to. I'm having no issues. The sound is good. Everything is good. Now, when I put my big old Nintendo all together, I want some audio coming out of it. I don't want to have to use headphones all the times. So just like a Game Boy has a speaker, I went ahead and ordered two Game Boy speakers. They're smaller ones. They have some bigger size, but these are Game Boy speakers. I got two of them. I went ahead and got a volume wheel so I can control the volume. Now I got two of them because I'm going to be replacing it on my actual Game Boy that's messed up. I figured why not kill two birds with one stone. But I'm also going to be adding a modem. This is a amplifier. Now this is the amplifier that you buy and you put up on your Game Boy, and it works simply by hooking up 5 volts with the ground to it, and then inputting your left and right audio with the ground, and that can be easily done by soldering just directly to the back of this screen to the 3.5 millimeter jack that's right here. Yeah, or I can actually get a 3.5 millimeter jack, cut it here, and then do all that. But I really don't want nothing sticking out no further than this HDMI right here. So I'm actually going to have to cut some of this cable and bend it at a 90-degree angle. But I have a actual USB cable that goes 90 degree, mini USB that goes 90 degree. So I'm actually going to be cutting this wire and splicing in that other head on this end so that it's actual 90 degrees and it doesn't stick out no further than this HDMI little cord right here. This 1 foot cord. So yeah, that'll help save space in the device. But yeah, I'm going to be hooking up. I'm going to be taking 5 volts with the ground directly from the Hyperkin. It does have a 5 volt point right here, which is this yellow wire. The blue wire is a ground. So I'll be able to hook up 5 volts and get it directly to my amp right here so that I can power the amp. And then I'll have a good stereo sound coming out. And yeah, my little portable Nintendo will have some awesome sound. But I'm also going to hook up a 3.5 millimeter jack. Now, I don't know how to do it to where when you hook up your headphone jack, it turns off the speakers. I'm going to have to look that up. And if I have to buy some other little device like this from Handheld Legends, then I will. But I'll find out. I'll find all that out, and then I'll let you know in the details. Everything I'm using is stuff that you can buy from like Amazon, Handheld Legends, like I said, either eBay. This is a no clean soldering flux paste. Works really, really good. It's really cheap. It did come with some desoldering wick that I use, and I suggest that you use this because if you don't, you're just messing yourself up. I use this 7% copper, 99.3 tin solder right here. It's a lead-free solder wire, and this works really good with me. I've had great results with it. I've had some other solder, and it just didn't work really good. I got little zip ties. These are from Wally World, Walmart. But yeah, these were like maybe $3 for the pack. It comes 50 of these little miniature ones, and they come in real handy, like right here, for beautifying the wires and making sure that everything looks good and is under control. So the final product, I would probably use a little more, but for right now, I just did this just so y'all can make this video. The only issue I'm having is it still has that death grip, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to kind of make it to where it doesn't have this death grip no more, because it makes it hard to insert the game and remove it. So I probably will be using a multi-cart, a cheap one from eBay, which is a clone of a Crits EverDrive. That way I can play all the Nintendo games just from one. But if I want to, and somebody has an original cart like this, then they'll actually be able to use it on my little Nintendo boy. So yeah, now that I have all this extended, I know that it works. It works good. The light works. Everything works. Now I can go and start building the frame to that's going to house all this and see exactly how everything's going to fit on the inside. My only thing I need to do is when I get the power brick, I'm going to get a power brick, and this is where it's going to be powering plugged up to this. And the power brick is going to have to be rechargeable, and I'm going to have to be able to access it through whatever type of charger. It's most likely going to be a USB Type-C to charge the power brick. That I haven't got yet because I've been focusing on just extending these wires. Okay. Now I will be putting some Kapton tape here to protect everything. I put all kinds. I'm going to be putting all kinds here. Okay. So don't worry about all that, y'all. This is just roughly what it looks like now. I just want to make a quick video, show you where I'm at. But yes, so far everything is everything's working out. Everything's working out good, y'all. And I like that 0.4 amps is enough to power all this with just 5 volts. You know, say 5 volts, 0.4 amps. I don't have to worry about getting more, which is 0.1 or I think it's 1.5 or 1.8 rapid charger, all that stuff. I don't need none of that. A regular 5 volt 0.5 amp will be good enough to power both. And so yeah, that'll give me a lot of hours from a cheap little brick. But we'll find out. We'll find out once I'm done. But okay, y'all. This is where I'm at. I hope y'all had a great weekend. I sure did. I got over a cold. I did some overtime, and it's always good to do some overtime. So okay, y'all. Until next time, peace and much love from Joe's Retro World.